Well, hello there, friends and family. Gotta wipe that bug off my face. I want to apologize. I didn't shave this morning. But I did clean up a little bit, put some fresh clothes on. Not like there's a whole lot of need to, but just here at the house property by myself. And I hope this do find you all well and healthy. And what I'd like to talk about today is many subjects. One of which is my disappointment in my fellow YouTube community. And I've been hesitant to do this over the last few weeks. As most of you know, my channel's not monetized, and that's for personal reasons. Mostly financial and because of healthcare restrictions. But this is an important issue. In fact, now we're basically at a crisis in our nation. And with it being a crisis, I feel it's then that we have to put all other considerations aside. One of those being money. Now, yep, I understand. Most of the channels on YouTube are out there to make money. And I get that. But we're talking about people dying. We're talking about family suffering. This is probably going to be the crisis that in our generation and the generation that's about to be born will forever remain in their minds, just as did the Great Depression, World War II, Korean War. That was, for me, that's when I was born, and other great tragedies in American life. For many, it was the Great Recession. But I just can't. And I thought about monetizing my channel this year. A lot of people were into me to get it monetized. And oh yeah, I could use the money. Trust me, I could. And a lot of people bring up, I need a P.O. box so they could send me stuff. And I appreciate that. Unfortunately, here in my little small town, P.O. boxes were all gone. We had 2 post offices. Now we only have 1. And those P.O. boxes have been locked down for a long time before I came around. So that's not possible. Now I know based on my last video, some of y'all brought up an Amazon wish list. And I could do that. But I have to sit here and think, what do I really need that I couldn't buy or provide for myself? And there's not much that I can't. Now, yeah, I'm retired. I live on fixed income. And I gotta be careful what I spent, and I spent 3 to 4 times more than I should have. Get, ready for this. But I'm not wanting for anything. What I do need, I can call my son and he can get it. And I have ordered some bird seed. I need that, so I ordered that off Amazon. Yep, had to pay twice for what I normally would, but that's okay. I love my birds. But getting back to the point of social media and making money, like I said, I get all that, and I understand how so many channels depend on that income. But there comes a time, and this is just the way I feel about it in my life. I've not one time, sold out my integrity or my honor for the almighty dollar. Nope. Maybe it's the way I was raised. Maybe it's my own personal beliefs. But I never have. And there's been times in my life, and I spoke of one in a previous video, where there was a time I was a principal engineer for one of the major military defense contractors in the world, and I was involved on several projects. One of which caused me to rethink not only my job there with that company, but my whole outlook on life. Now granted, I did a great job. I took a hold of that project, and I took something that failed, and I made it successful. But I didn't know in making it successful what the repercussions were in the months, the years to follow. And I won't go into all the details. But there's some of what I did still out there in the world, and it will still kill people. And I hate that. But I could have had a great career with that company. I could have been making 4 times the money that I would have made had I not decided to resign my position with that company and step down. So like I said, I had an epiphany of conscience. I couldn't do it no more. So I walked away. And also, like I said, that haunted me for years, my career. But that's what I'm talking about, social media, where we have to make a decision. Is the almighty dollar worth selling our soul? No. For those of you who followed me all this time, my soul ain't up for sale. My honor and integrity is not up for sale. There's no price tag. I just can't bring myself to do it. And I've spent literally now 1,000 or more hours researching, analyzing, and digging into this coronavirus to dig out the truth, to dig out the facts, to dig out the current situation, and avoid all the mainstream media hype, and show you what the government should have been showing you all this time. And there's been some repercussions from that. Not only from other social media outlets, but from also my beloved government. I have had a visit here at my place from the government. Though they didn't come officially, didn't have U.S. government on the side of the car, didn't have no badges. But it was quite apparent that this young man was not who he said he was. But I got through it. Am I going to stop reporting the facts that I know them to be true? No. And I always show you the supporting evidence. I always show you the links that you can go, you can read it yourself, and make a decision for yourself. That way it just isn't old Mr. Tom telling you. The information is right there below in the video description for you to read and decide for yourself. And I always encourage you to do that and do your own research. You know, I'm not trying to develop a cult here. I never really thought I was trying to develop a big following or anything. I do what I do primarily for myself, my children, my grandson, my friends and family. Now, that being, that's about 12,000 of y'all. And I care for each and every one of you. And just like before coming out and recording this today, I finished up reading all of your comments. It's like 318 comments. That takes a while. The ones who asked questions, I answered them. And I'm going to try to continue to do that. Though, with more and more comments, that gets even harder. Especially with the way YouTube does with the comments. It's just like on a past video, somebody comments, I don't get a notification. The only way I would ever know you put a comment on a past video is if I go back in the videos and look at the comments and put newest first. And then I can see you did. Well, as you can imagine, during this particular crisis, I haven't had the time to do that. And I apologize. It doesn't mean that I didn't want to. It means I didn't know. But the reason I wanted to come out here and chat with you today about this on social media is you got to be real careful about what you watch, what you take in, and who you follow. And you got to ask them, what are their motivations for what they're telling you? I don't have any motivation. I don't have any political agenda. I don't have any religious agenda. I don't have any personal agenda. I don't have any of that. I have a sincere desire to protect myself, my family, my friends, my loved ones, and all of you. That's my desire. As we go through this together, and I mean that together, I still want to see the comments from those of you that I've seen since the very beginning of the channel, that I've seen join the channel as it's continued to grow. And I guess it saddens me that we've come to that state in humanity that we have to put the choice between doing the right thing and doing what makes us money ahead of doing the right thing. And I guess I'm just a moron. And I'll never be rich. A time or two in my life I almost got there. And I have been well off in my life. And I lost it all. Some of that was from my own decision making. Most of you might not know I've owned a couple of companies. One of which was highly successful, based out of Atlanta. It was an engineering firm. We were the most sought after engineering firm there was, not only in the Southeast, but the entire United States and some parts of the world. I made more money than I even knew what to do with. But you know what the cost of that was? Spending time with my children. And it got too much for me. I was missing everything with my children because all I did was work, travel. It was insane, but that's what you got to do. And the people who do that, they know that. They make that trade-off. My heart couldn't take it. And one Sunday evening when my daughter called, and she couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 years old, she wanted me to come to a play in Huntsville, Alabama. I had business meetings that I had to attend. Travel itinerary was already set. And just to listen to the message that she left me broke my heart as I sat in my office on that Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. And I made a decision right then. And it'd been one coming for a while. The money just wasn't worth it anymore. And I was coming on. You know what I did, folks? I sat right down on that desk. And what I did was, I signed my portion of that company. Now I had a partner. I signed my portion of that company over to the employees. Contacted my attorneys. Got their asses over there. We got that notarized, and I walked away, and I've never looked back. Now, a little funny joke on the side was my son lived with me at the time. Old James, he was only about 5 at the time, and over the years growing up, James would ask me, "Daddy, when we gonna be rich again?" I just sort of laughed. Well, I'm working on it, son. Maybe in time we will again. But you know, to me, folks, I lost the lust for money. In my mind, enough money where you can be comfortable. And I don't have a great home. Y'all have seen it. I don't have new vehicles. Y'all have seen them. I don't have the nicest clothes. I can't go out and do whatever I want whenever I want, even when I was working. But other than that, I have what I need. And that was something else I always tried to teach my children. The difference between a need and a want. See, a need is something you got to have to live. A want is something you desire. I learned a long, long time ago in my young life the difference between those two. And I really strived hard to teach my two children that. And I've tried to teach that to a couple of wives. It didn't work out. As well as many friends and acquaintances. See, people have a hard time with that. Distinguishing between a need and a want. Can all of us survive on less? Yes, we can. I know I can. You see, because I know there's been times in my life where a can of cheap pork and beans, a can of tuna, some white bread and margarine for my dinner. Oh, they were also my breakfast and my lunch. I ate that particular menu for about 18 months. But as you can see, I survived. Was it the most healthiest menu in the world? Well, I contributed to that. I forage, just like I always do. And you'd be surprised how many plants out in your yard, nearby park, forest, whatever, have loaded up with vitamins, minerals, and have medicinal properties. And that's why I always stress learning to forage. Get with somebody that knows it in your neck of the woods, your area. Learn it. Learning the skills to survive and thrive are extremely necessary. But I think more importantly, and this is something we've lost in our civilization. First of all, we've lost our humanity. That's starting to seep through the cracks even now. We've lost the simple fact that we can do with so much less than we're accustomed to. I mean, like I said yesterday, people are getting all pissy and upset because they've been in what they call quarantine for 3 to 4 days. They're losing their mind. They don't know what to do with their family, their friends, their children. They're bored. They're going nuts. They're already having cabin fever. Come on, folks. Get over it. Be an adult. Buck up. And maybe I guess I'm too old. I've often said I was born in the wrong time, and that I was definitely outlived my time. And I never thought I'd see something like this that has hit America or the world. Pandemics were movies, right? We're all living a movie, and when historic, when people look back at this in history, they're not going to believe it. Just like those younger than myself and others, they don't believe what happened during the Spanish flu. They don't believe it. Who knows? Well, I can remember the stories. I'm sure those of you who are older can remember them well. I didn't live it. That's heard from time to time during those discussions after dinner. Stories of that, as I overheard stories of the Great Depression. Probably two of the most tragic events to happen in America since the American Civil War. And yet, World War I was tragic, and so was World War II. But it's been a long time since Americans, it's been several generations, have seen anything the likes of which we're seeing now. And all we're seeing should tell every American out there, we need to do the right thing. We need to put aside our personal desires and wants for the betterment of all. As this crisis has continued, I've wondered, as I've watched things, on social media, mainstream media, with our government, YouTube in particularly. And I know I'll get hammered for this because people have their favorite channels. Well, you don't understand, Mr. Tom. They got to make money. Yeah, I do. Heaven forbid they had to go out and get a job. I know that'd break their heart. Wouldn't break mine. Worked all my life since I was 13 years old for a public job. And my daddy drug me out of the house and put me to work from the tender age of 6. Was I happy? Oh, hell no. Was I happy when I was 13 when he dropped me off in the middle of Huntsville, Alabama and told me to find a job before he got off of work and was coming home? No. But I did what Daddy said do. I got me a job. I might say it surprised the living hell out of him when he pulled up and wanted me to get in the car and I couldn't. And he got a little bit perturbed. But like I told him that day, as I was standing there in my brand new Texaco uniform, Daddy, I did like you said. I got me a job. And I don't get off till 10 o'clock. And I'll give my old daddy credit. He never complained. And we lived like 27, 28 miles outside of Huntsville, Alabama. But every night, he'd drive back in and he'd pick me up. We'd talk about my day. And there would always be dinner in the oven when I got home. My mama made sure of that. Maybe this particular pandemic and health crisis will eventually instill some of those old values that Americans have lost. And I hate that it's come to this point. It takes something like this for people to finally realize the value of core values. I hate it. But that's what it's taken. And something else I'd like to say is this got even worse today as far as what people are calling shelter in place, lockdowns. New York City, according to Governor Cuomo, he's, as he phrased it, closing the valve. He's pretty much curtailed everything. No gatherings of any size. All non-essential businesses are closed. And he didn't want to do it, but he had to do it. The same happened yesterday afternoon in California. Government Newsom, he calls it something called shelter in place. Whatever you're calling it, it's the same thing. We all need to put the well-being of humanity, those we love, those in our towns, our communities, our state, our nation, and the planet before our own personal desires and wants. And I don't know what more to say about that. I was going to do a whole different video today than talk about this. But here again, I was watching a video or two on YouTube where it still continues. Not going to mention it. We're going to call it stupid names. We're going to sit there and smile and look goofy. This is no time for all that. This is no time to hide the facts. This is time to stand up and be counted. And that's what I've always done in my entire life. And I will continue to do. And I know later this evening, after I edit this video and put it out there, I'm going to get comments like which God hasn't seen that aren't going to be very kind. But that's okay. I'm a big enough man. Don't matter to me. And even if some of the people that follow these other channels, and I know some of them do, as well as I know many of those other channels follow mine, you're not subscribed, follow for other reasons I won't get into right now, I'll lose some subscribers. It's okay. I never thought I'd have approaching 12,000 people watching me my entire life. If I wake up tomorrow and only got 2,000, that's okay. At least I know the 2,000's got my back, just like I got theirs. And if you think for a minute that if there was any way I could help any of y'all that I wouldn't, then you just don't know the man I am. And I have got emails that have just hurt my soul, my heart, likes which I cannot explain. And it's one of those times in my life where I wish maybe I'd made different decisions, and maybe I'd be sitting here and I'd be a multi-millionaire, possibly a billionaire, who knows. Because if I had that money, oh, I'd be helping people out with it. You can bet your butt on that. So that's enough for my rant today. Other than that, we're doing fine. Yep, we still haven't left the property. We don't have no intention. It's been a beautiful day today. 77 degrees. Now, it has been overcast most of the day. And up until I came out here to vent, I've been watching many videos, mostly videos from what governors have been saying, what the president said. He just finished up his press briefing, trying to get a clear picture of where we're heading. And if any of y'all think this is going to end in 14 days or 21 days, you're living in a different universe than I am. This is going to be with us a while. My best guess is 3 to 6 months. But then we'll be looking not too long after that, the second wave. And like I've said, for many of us, the only hope is self-isolation. Our other hopes is good treatments come online or a vaccine. So y'all, hope this all finds you well. Your family's doing well, and you're making the right decisions for yourself, your family, and your loved ones. And until I see you on the next video, which may possibly be tomorrow, because then I'll do the video I wanted to do today. It's educational and informative. I want y'all to take care. Stay safe out there wherever you are. And truly, God bless each and every one of you, your families, and your loved ones. Till next we speak. Goodbye for now.